Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. In this video, I'm going to talk about Ripple, XRP, and SBI holdings here in Japan. We'll go quickly, and the first story is about Ripple expanding in Singapore. It was in September 2017 that we learned that Ripple was going to open an office in Singapore. They are now going to double the size of the staff, up to 24 people. And Eric Van Miltenburg, the Senior Vice President of Global Sales and Operations at Ripple, is quoted as saying that this is a very significant area for the growth of Ripple. As a matter of fact, 50% of all the partners right now using RippleNet are located in Asia. And if you go onto YouTube and find a panel discussion that took place at the Ripple headquarters in December, you'll see that the regulatory clarity for Thailand and Singapore and the Philippines is really aiding this growth. They are very advanced and leading the region of the world in terms of adoption. And that is mostly because the correspondent banking, as I talked about before and is confirmed in this particular video, is decreasing. And the fact that it's decreasing, because you need to have a correspondent bank in order to make those international remittances work the old way. And when we have that relationship decrease, the friction increases, which is why there is an increased demand for RippleNet and XRP, the digital asset. There are more than $130 billion of remittance flowing into this area of the world, which is why I think taken the overall environment of Southeast Asia, with also Japan and Korea being very friendly to cryptocurrency, you're going to have a very strong force moving forward in 2019. And in that video, Mr. Miltenburg talks about how they are working with 40 different regulatory bodies, from the US to India to the UAE. They are really working hard to work in tandem with governments to actually improve the efficiencies for banking. And I think that this is going to be a very exciting year for Ripple and XRP. Well, it was in October that we learned the Malaysian MoneyMatch company was in a sandbox, basically getting comfortable with learning how and understanding the Ripple-based transaction. And the Malaysian company, or fintech MoneyMatch, conducted its first cross-border transactions at that time. They were doing the transactions from Malaysia, which is where they are based, to Spain. And they also were following up creating channels with Germany, Latvia, and Ireland. And it was exposed here in the article that they are using the RippleNet platform with XVIA. Now, if you remember, XVIA has a very interesting feature. It provides multi-hop. Multi-hop was used first by the Bank of Siam in Thailand, and it allows you to do smart routing, and you can choose the cheapest payment path. So the solution is an API solution, which is even more simple for people to adopt. And then the most inexpensive path, of course, has been that with XRapid. So for a fintech company that's doing all levels of remittances, whether it's domestic or international, cross borders, I think XVIA works beautifully for them. And here, just on the 9th, they received their official license. So the Malaysian fintech startup MoneyMatch was granted the remittance license. So good for them. Now they can really get going. And in this article, it talks about how they are going to expand next to Australia. I was included on this tweet by Uquid, and I thought, wow, this is pretty good. So worldwide mobile credit and Viber now can be topped up with Ripple XRP. And this company is located in the UK, London to be exact. And if you work with their app, you can pay your bills online. You can use their food vouchers. It's pinless and it's very, very easy to use. There is a video, just 1 minute and 57 seconds long, that shows you how easy it is to top up your mobile credit using this XRP. I'll put a link to it in the description below, and if you are interested, have a look at their video. They just uploaded this, gosh, just a few hours ago, actually. So it will show you how easy it is to use. Okay, here's some new news with SBI. SBI Holdings, of course, is a shareholder in Ripple and a really great partner for Ripple and XRP. They have started Japan's very first blockchain certificate for artwork. And the artwork really does need a certificate of authenticity. Why? Because there is a lot of problems on the secondary market when it comes to forgeries. And in addition to that, the Provence, how it's sometimes called, or the certificate of authenticity, will provide proof of ownership and also a restoration history, which for older, more historic pieces is very, very important. So let me show you here what it will look like. This is kind of an outline of how the certificate will look, and there'll be a recording number which will be on the blockchain network. So it'll be fully permanent for the lifetime of that piece of artwork. There is an auction that's going to take place. I think it has about $450 million of artworks. It's going to be here in Tokyo, but don't worry, you can watch the auction. There'll be a preview on the 24th, 25th, and 26th of April, and it takes place in 2 different days. They split the lots up in half. Some of it starts on Friday, the evening of April 26th, and then continues on the 27th of April. There's really some great artists like Robert Indiana, Jasper Johns, even some Yoko Ono pieces, Keith Haring. So here is the link to the SBI art auction live streaming site. They're not, of course, online right now, but they will be, and I'll put the link to that in the description below. I think it's going to be really fun to catch some of that. And I went back, and you can actually look at prices that were caught on past auctions. Here's an Andy Warhol piece. It's a 1982 screen print, which was signed and numbered, and it sold for $129,434. So there, I think art is still very much alive here in Japan. And look at this great news. The Uphold, which I think personally is one of the easiest. It's very user-friendly. It has a great user interface, and it's very intuitive to use. It's not difficult. So if you want to buy and sell XRP, Uphold just announced that they are thrilled that as of today, they have eliminated the withdrawal fee for XRP. That is really great news. All right, everybody, we are jumping to the fluff. So Japan, even with all this cashless talk, they are going to issue some new banknotes, 3 new banknotes and 1 new coin. And the banknotes will be the 1,000 yen bill, which is about $10. So the dollar to yen is not 1-to-1, but it's close enough that you can just think in terms of 1-to-1. The dollar is just a touch stronger. The 5,000 yen note is about $50, and the 10,000 100 or ichiman note is about $100. So these are the 3 bills that will be issued. The bills actually won't be available until 2024, and the coin will be available in 2021, and it's going to use some white copper. I don't know what the color looks like, but I'm sure the color is going to change. So if we take a peek at somebody in the XRP community here in Japan, this is BK underscore black underscore dash white, right? Yeah. He is a illustrator or manga artist. Manga is kind of comic, and he always is doing cute, funny strips of scenarios with his Ripple characters. And here he has, this is Rippy, is on the $10,000 bill. Anyway, he's really fun to follow if you are on Twitter. So I'll put a link to his Twitter site in the description too. But those bills are going to be, I think quite interesting, quite fun. The 1,000 yen has the famous Hokusai, which was an artist during the Edo period in the basically 1600s. Yeah, I think it was the 1600s. Yeah. And the famous one, of course, is the Great Wave over Kanagawa. It's going to be on the backside of the 1,000 yen banknote. But the one banknote that I really want to talk about, because it's got an extremely interesting person, is the 5,000 yen note. And this is the pioneer of the woman's education here in Japan. Her name is Umeko Suda. And I will show you. These are all 3 people from Japan's history during the turn of the century, during the Meiji era, who were very significant to the rapid growth and change that Japan encountered when it opened up the country to the West. So this is the father of Japanese capitalism here, and this is the father of medicine. But I want to talk about the second daughter of a very progressive Japanese man who sought to promote Westernization in Japan, and you won't believe it, at the age of just 9 years old, he volunteered her to go to the United States for education. And she arrived in San Francisco. Where was it? In, what was the year she arrived? 1871, she arrived in San Francisco. She ended up going to Washington, D.C., where she attended the Georgetown Collegiate School. And at the age of 18, she returned back to Japan, and it was not easy for her. She was not happy with the role that women had in Japan at that time, and I think the adjustment for her was very difficult. She did get a job as an English tutor, but returned back to the United States again to get her degree in biology and education. And then after that, she came back to Japan again, and she started a school. And look at the humble beginnings of this school. This is in Tokyo, and it was a women's college. The first class only had 10 people, but it grew into one of the most prestigious established women's colleges in Tokyo, and it's called Suda College. And what a great story and history, and all the women who have been able to graduate from there through its more than 100-year history is really wonderful. So anyway, I'm happy to see that they chose her for the 5,000 yen banknote. All right, everybody, that's all I have for you today. Do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.